Hi, it's Jim here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about proofreading. Proofreading is something which is vitally important when you turn in formal writing. It's more of an issue today because we do so much informal writing, texting, emails, quick posts on Facebook, all those sorts of things. We don't take time to proofread. We use things like, little lowercase i's for I, the letter U for YOU, all those sorts of issues like that. And so we get sloppy. We get used to not proofreading the formal things as much as we need to. So as you do everything in this course, everything from writing papers to doing your online postings, your discussion boards, I really want you to take time to practice the art of proofreading. And today I've got a couple suggestions for you. First of all, the main thing you need to do is slow down. Problem with proofreading is the mind fills in the gaps for us. So even though something is written incorrectly, the wrong word is used, we spell something wrong, we know what we're trying to say. So when we look at our own writing, we tend to read it correctly in our head, even if what's on the paper isn't correct. So find some ways to slow down. One of the first things you can do is take a envelope, a ruler, something like this folder here, put it underneath your paper and read line by line. Once you've read one line, stop, go to the next line, and then just read the line by itself, not as a sentence necessarily, but as a distinct line of prose. Some students find that it's easiest to read backwards. They start in the very last paragraph and they read backwards. This slows you down because you're not reading for meaning. Instead, you're looking at individual sentences and you're going through like that. Other things that help quite a bit, often I'll find that students tell me that hearing their prose read out loud helps. You can, for instance, read yourself reading your paper on your cell phone and then play the video back to you. Record it as you go through and then play it back to you. While you're reading the paper, you can listen to yourself and hear a lot of things. Or ask a friend or one of your relatives to read your paper to you while you look at another copy of it. And every time they have to stumble on something or they have problems figuring out what you're saying, circle that, underline that part because you know that that's a place you need to come back to and you need to work on. All these things will help you to really start identifying the problems where your writing is not as successful as it should be or lacks grammatical correctness. A final thing that I often suggest you do is find somebody who's better at proofreading than you are. Give them your draft and ask them not to fix your errors. Say, would you please underline anything that either doesn't sound right or you think is grammatically wrong? And then you sit down, look at the underlined part, and see if you can figure it out. If you can't, by all means, ask them for help or email me and say, the sentence doesn't work, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong here? But by focusing on having them identify what's wrong and then you trying to fix it, you're going to keep ingraining those good proofreading methods as you go through. And that's what I want to keep you practicing all the time with all your writing. Final thing is if you're not already doing it, make sure you're writing in a good word processor, either Pages in Apple or Microsoft Word, and use the spell checker and the grammar checker. They don't catch everything, and they may give you the wrong idea sometimes, or they may suggest things that are not correct. But you'd be amazed at how much they can catch, particularly just little simple spelling errors. So to sum everything up, the main thing is find a proofreading strategy that works for you. Slow down and make sure that you spend ample time proofreading. The last thing I want to leave you with is proofreading is an important skill, but it's something you want to do with your second draft. Your first draft ought to be just about finding meaning, getting your ideas on paper, committing to a basic structure for your essay or your discussion board post. But then after that first draft, or maybe even the second draft, spend some time proofreading. The more you proofread, the better you will be at doing it. And the better you will be when you have to write something really important. Thanks a lot. I look forward to seeing your best proofreading in all of your writing.